Welcome back for your March reading. Okay, now I'm Yildiz from Yildiz Readings 5D. I'm a psychic medium as well as I cover the astrology, the moon energy. Now, I know all of us here like love, well, when it's working. Anywho, we are covering the energy of your romance house first. We are going to look into the collective energy, and we're also going to look at different houses. A lot of times when it pertains to love, there can be other dynamics surrounding your energy that at an external level that can, as within, as without. You get the deal. Okay, let's get into it. Now, this month, yes, we are having Saturn retrograde into Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is a very social sign, but it can bring about change. Now, it does fall in your 4th house, which isn't a fun place to be. It's going to give you a bit of a viewpoint into if something doesn't move, how it will be to the detriment. Now, it can be that you're doing renovations or something that to that degree, because 4th house is physical foundation. It can be domestic related dynamics. It can be parenting roles. Collectively, we have been working in that energy within Pluto for the last 12 years, but the Aquarian energy will directly fall in this house for you. And, you know, really with the energy of Saturn, it's going to give you an insight into what 2021 can look like. So if you get key themes, look at this as a review month to see what you would need to change to avoid any future conflict, if that would be potentially an issue. So there can be something happening on the home front. There can be something happening in a sense of moving, changing, that can be shaking energy up. We also have the nodes in Libra. And for you guys, not the nodes, Juno. We have Juno in marriages, contracts, partnerships in your 12th house. So at a spiritual level, you might mentally be bringing something completely together. Now, last month we did have the energy of Pisces, which is very much at a collective level, 12th house. Your crowning energy is, whenever I say sevens, it relates to spirituality. Now, you've got the 7 of Cups, but it's in reverse. You're being very, very realistic. You're being very Scorpio. Okay, now I have Scorpio in my Venus house. So yes, when it comes to romance, we want it deep. We want to know exactly, you know, we want to know what's not being said. We sense things intuitively. You guys are deeply psychic energies. Now, you are being smart. You're using your smarts about you. And as long as you're not getting triggered, the super full moon in Virgo is going to help you put Humpty Dumpty back together again. All right? You can only do what's on your side of the fence. Now, because I read for collective energy, singles, couples, the energy to the core of what's vibrating in your auric field is what will come through. You may be feeling life is changing so drastically. And again, the Tower, I feel, is the home-related dynamic. I feel you're checking this. You're maybe building for the future. So again, there can be some disruption at home. But you might be fearing, because this is your mindset, you might be fearing that something's not quite right, that there's going to be some nasty surprises. Again, I am feeling with the 12th house, yes, you do need to follow your intuition, but speak about it if you need to. Get into the grain of, are your actions and words matching? Okay? If it's something on your side of the fence, then, and you directly are not in communication with this person, this can be a mental process you're going through to the bigger picture of how you feel about this connection you're tuning into. But there is their energy that I've pulled regardless. Now, emotionally speaking, like, you may not want to articulate some of the things that you're sensing. You may also be concerned about finances. This is an abundant year. With the changes that's happening in relationships, it's going to happen for you guys this year very quickly, because you also have Uranus and Taurus there. So, you know, to get these hopes and dreams spiritually, you're gonna have to be supple with the changes that come through. You're being guided to the best. The foundation of what you're standing on Again, I do feel this is inner child healing. It could also be that the way you perceive this person, pride cometh before a fall, you know, not wanting to speak it, could be old energy. Maybe you feel that you can see the bigger picture of something, and even if you wanted to shift it under the carpet, you potentially feel you can't. But you're still looking at this very realistic, which is very much the super full moon in Virgo. I do feel you're working very hard, but while you're working, I'm sensing you're thinking on this individual and the situation surrounding the entirety of the dynamic. Now, your employment energy is quite large this year. With Aries and Chiron, you know, you might have had to have been both yin and yang in your life your whole life. Because we do have Aries and Chiron in your 6th house. Your health is very important. Now, if you were going through spiritual ascension symptoms, when you're looking at love, if you've had to be male and female in your own energy and you're balancing out the yin and yang, I'm feeling some sense of guilt because you're used to being everything to everyone. It's like, you know, this is changing though. It's like, for some reason, it's like you guys have been bouncing. You know, and we do this when we're going through looking at our romance, understanding what our role is in the energy of the relationship. You may be trying to just work vigilantly, okay? And you might have been working on understanding this entire situation since last year. Relationships in general or directly this individual. You guys may be looking at this person and thinking, when are they going to learn? You also, if you have children, you may be, you know, having dramas with them or some shape or form, but very separately, you could be very, very strict on yourself as well. That you're looking at, you know, why do I keep doing this? Am I silly? No, I'm not. I just feel in general from last month, it was very heavy energy. So to move into this month is almost like what's coming. So we're trying to use our smarts about us. But, you know, this is where I speak about intuition and the value of intuition, and that sometimes we feel somehow if it's there, that it's failed us somehow. So, you know, that's the pain body experience. So we're trying to avoid obstacles by having a tactical approach to it, and it's not fluidly being in the moment. With Uranus being in Taurus, is asking you to accept the yin and yang of that which you have been, I feel sometimes for far too long. They telepathically have a very deep connection with you. So even if you're not speaking, even if you're not saying anything and you're in the same room, they get what's going on. This may have had, like, it does take, I'm hearing it takes two to tango. So providing both are on the same page, it bodes completely successfully. I feel they have a plan. I also feel as though the way they look at you, you underestimate how they look at you, because they look at you as a very successful person, as someone who's deeply intuitive. They strive to be very similar to you. You do directly inspire them. But they're holding a map and they're holding the fruit, and it's like the foundation. This can be again, look at the card. I'm always drawn to different images on the card. Although this is a feminine energy, this is how they're feeling. So vice versa, regardless. The person in highlight at the moment is the feminine, her ideas, the plans, her seeds of wisdom, her intuition with it. This person's quite tuned into some of the things you've said, you stand for, you are. It does intimidate them, it really does. But look at the foundation of it, you both have the sun. So there can be this energy coming through where you're really honing in on the finances and things that you're wanting to do. It's the strength to do it. It's the power and it's the energy to do it. And it's unique because I chose your zodiac sign to do first this morning. And I saw the Phoenix rising. I saw this image, which I do have to do a live update. And in astrology, linking in with male energies, because we have the yin and yang, so it's going to relate to you regardless, because you are, you're a Scorpio, plus the energy of Mars energy does link in with that, with Horus. Now, the ascension symptoms we're all going through and the transformation, some energies around you, and especially pertaining to this romance house, be it in work or directly linking into a masculine frequency, this person is spiritually upgrading. Now, for you as well, within your core field of employment, and moving this ship forward and working together as a team, both of you have a joint role, be it you together or not. This is a spiritual connection I'm tuning into, and this path does have a destination, but it's also got an ultimate goal. I'm feeling like you've had to hold, how do I put it, the torch. But it's more from the third eye. It's more from the clarity, the giving and receiving of clarity. Only when you're fatigued, you will find this will become out of balance. And then the articulation of, your downloads won't be there. Your vision, your dream. Yeah, and I just saw Tourmaline, really protect your energy. I'm not feeling this to be a negative month. I do feel this will be... the Uranian aspects of any, some of these dreams are going to get worked on, because we have the Sun in Taurus, we have Mercury in Taurus, and we're going to be having, where am I? I'm tracking ahead too far. There's got to be a reason why I'm tuning into April for you guys. I'm feeling like between now and April, if you have conflict and you're fearing something that might not be working, or that it's not going to get off the ground. Last year was difficult. Last month was difficult. The clarity at the end of the month would have started seeping through. In movement, I'm feeling any fruits of your labor will start coming through, but you need to start planting now. If you have a plan or a goal, or you're wishing to bring this energy in at a spiritual level, if you need to compartmentalize, do it in an orderly fashion and, look at the truth realities of situations. Because what you're moving forward to, in detachment, I feel it's bringing this ship home. And I do feel like with some of those hopes, dreams, plans, goals between now and April, those things are going to start bearing fruit. They're scared they're going to lose you. You're scared that life's going to come toppling down. You're both dealing with a frequency. It can pertain to an external situation. I'm strongly feeling that. Both of you are ready to deal with this relationship and move forward. The confusion was coming from the frequency of last month, but allow the sorting out of things to come through. Now, this year we do have the nodes changing. Any conflict that potentially doesn't get resolved this month, there are going to be 2 separate opportunities for that energy to come in. I would also strongly suggest that during the transit this year, you be very mindful of sports and activities to that degree. Because I do notice in aspects in astrology, there are certain things to do with the knee. You can Google chakra and it does talk to you about these things. Definitely during a Mercury retrograde, where it does tend to be more fast. So you can directly get fatigued. I'm feeling the outcome is positive, but if there's anything you guys need to shift around, I feel now is the time. If you're a twin flame and you need coaching, book a reading, because some of the spiritual blockages that you can have, they will occur in separation. And a lot of twins don't know that. That is for those of you that are watching if you are twin flames. That aspect is so important that if, you synchronistically will be tuning into them. But a lot of the key themes are inside our own lives to shift that energy. So bear that energy in mind. Overall this month, family-related dynamics might be coming up, but I feel this is more from a spiritual point. Again, you do have the 4th house placement, so be mindful, be patient. This too shall pass, but take some clues. The Jupiter energy also of movement, when the nodes change, we may get a little bit of an idea as to what is and what isn't working yet. Now, yes, you can be dealing with the energy of Sagittarius, but I feel more in your career zone. Again, a Libra. What other signs? Scorpio, Leo. We'll keep going. Your home, there can be some dramas, but you will directly know what they are. Regardless, if you don't, you know that the 4th house placement's there. Try and be patient with that, gain clues, and it's going to give you some solutions to move forward in 2021. Take note, okay? Now, with finances and growth, this is coming through. You're guided to look after your health, pay attention to any symptoms, follow your intuition with things. It will help you be very meticulous this month and get things sorted. As Mercury comes out of shadow, you'll find things will really move. But it's deal with the old things first before you start anything new. I do feel by the time we have the new moon in Aries, it's going to be at 4 degrees on the 24th. It's okay. Now we're ready to deal. Now we're ready to move forward. What is that going to be? But I'll tune into the moon energy. There is a balance you're trying to create between work and home at the moment. And it is key because once the nodes change, you don't want to be dealing with this old energy. It might make you feel quite like, oh gosh, what next? So organise the things as much as possible, that of what you can control. Your romance house is shifting and moving. This person is going through a bit of mental anguish, but more from, they're open though. They're open, but it can be things that you might need to actually sort through at an energetic level, either in the 5D or directly in the 3D. But I feel for many of you, it is communication and conversations. Your career domain. Yep. What will come up is, again, as I mentioned, you got Dolphin in reverse, which is about playtime. There might not be as much cash component due to other things really going into home, family, residence, changes. Again, because of the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn, and when the nodes do change in May, the way we grow with our finances will be different. It's really being on our A game and not using wastage. Try not to feel guilty about your need to be at work, or it's like this push-pull energy. Okay, you have this crystal. I'm not even going to bother to try and pronounce it. This crystal does link into me in a way. Like I said, you guys are deeply psychic, but also from the perspective of the blue energy coming through with Mercury. I hear, see, notice, and understand messages of the divine. Improve spiritual communication skills. Interpret signs and symbols. Express connections with angels, guides, and spirits. Feel serenity and calmness. You need to trust in this process. If you need the crystal to help you, as I said, I suggested black tourmaline, black onyx, if you can see it on my hand, which will help you with that. Okay, this is where, like I said, 4th house family, decisiveness, making a decision, taking appropriate action. If a tower moment is happening at home and it's not looking pretty, because there's things going everywhere, this is the joy of Saturn and Aquarius, okay? It can be the growth of the things and the changing around of furniture, the moving around of situations, but the shake-up of what's happening is for the bigger picture in 2021. So trust in the process of anything that's coming. I'll pull a clarifier on that. What is this pertaining to? I'll laugh if house comes up. What is this pertaining to? Any advice for Scorpio? Okay, whatever it's going to be, like I said, you're trying to be male and female. This will be when somebody is not home. This can be relating to a change in romance, but I feel it's more the person not being home, having to multitask, because I did pick that up with your energy. Work, home, work, home. This person is, if you are in a relationship, I feel they're going to be at work when this goes down. And it might be a bit frustrating, but just allow the dust to fall and trust in the process. I feel you're doing too much. You're going to be happy with the outcome. You'll actually be, this is going to benefit you in some shape or form financially. There is a change happening though. Whatever's being changed about is bringing a benefit to tribe, to home, to the people around you. Now, in your employment as well, your contacts and connections are going to help you. Please do not underestimate yourself. Your health, find time to meditate. Stop thinking so much, which we do because we have that psychic aspect to us. We want to know, again, look at this being really realistic. That's the good old Virgo moon coming through. But also being very Scorpio. So you need a bit of this and a bit of that. Does it make sense? Yin and yang. Yes, we need to be very disconcerting when it comes to look beyond the immediate appearance. Yes, that is the Virgo frequency coming through. It's very okay having something done and then looking if it works and then making a judgment. So it's like being the Virgo, then being the Libra, but then operating from a peaceful place to make a decision. Your health overall needs the balance of both. But part of this, part of balancing that energy, it can't, some of it might come up this month due to a wound because there's healing, right? This could be other people, or it could be just a very busy month where you haven't given yourself enough time to have the nurture because it's fast paced. What you're not seeing. What you're not seeing is that of what you can't avoid. Okay, you've got Hawk in reverse. Choose your priorities, therefore you won't be able to because there will be too much going on, and eliminate all distractions. Saturn in Aquarius going retrograde is about the bigger picture, the bigger group. It might be quite social, it can be quite busy. What's working, what's not. Like, whatever's being shown to you is so that you can do this, but without that information, you're unable to. So there's a method to the madness, the universe is saying. Trust in the process. All this shall pass. I will meet you mid-month, and I'll tune into your romance house alone. Love and light. If you want a booking, link below.